Darth Caboose is a response to your video. Um, to this one right here. Mac vs. PC episode 20 response to Troll I Dig MGL. So, first of all, I'm just going to start on the title alone. Why would you call me a troll if you posted up a video sparking a debate, iPad versus netbook? I mean, seriously, that's kind of retarded. You posted a video that sparks debate between two sides, and yet when someone debates the other side, you call them a troll. Kind of just sounds like you're a Nazi, if you ask me. If it's not your way, then they get punished. You call them a troll. That's what they are. They're deemed a troll because they argued against you on a video that sparks debate. Anyways, I have an entire video to go through, so let's just do this. I don't want to actually look at your video the entire time, so I'm just gonna. Bam. Alright. So I typed everything out on my iPad, and I was gonna copy and paste the message, but you seem to get confused when I send a message in text, so I thought I'd just respond in video, or at least in audio. Okay, so number one, you said something about, you made a big deal about the iPad having its own person, and here's my response to that. On my person is an expression, lol. Yeah, I don't know if you're ignorant to this expression, but it is an expression nonetheless. On my person, I don't, you can look that up yourself if you want to, but it's an expression. And I don't see why you need to make a big deal out of that either. It just seems like you're trying to attack me, but let's continue on. Number two, you said something about I need to drink milk because if I can't carry a 3-pound netbook, then I have problems. Well, here's the thing. My number two is ready versus willing. Sure, I could pick up a 3-pound netbook and walk around with it, completing daily tasks, but am I willing to do that? Fuck no. Why the hell would I want to walk around a convenience store with an open netbook just to check off things on my to-buy list? I should just take a piece of paper and scribble down a list instead. I need no paper for an iPad, and it's a great alternative to lugging around a netbook for a simple purpose, or wasting paper for that matter. So the reason why I bring up this grocery store, convenience store scenario is because that's how I use my iPad. If you're trying to say that a netbook is better than an iPad, then a netbook should be able to do everything that my iPad can do and then some, in any scenario. And that's not absolutely not the case. An iPad is more versatile because of the weight, because of its form factor. You can essentially have a netbook's form factor just by either buying the keyboard dock. I already have a wireless keyboard, so I can already essentially do that. Or you can get the $30 iPad case by Apple. Actually, I think it's $40, which is what I have. And it angles the keyboard in a way that has the full-size keyboard. It's easy to do. And when I don't need that keyboard option, I just carry it around as a single piece, and that's all I need. But let's get to number three. You said something about the iPad floating in midair because I said that the netbook needs more support than the iPad. And you never actually fought that point. You just said that the iPad was floating in the air. So here's my response to that. And it's my impression of you, thinking of this. What does he mean by supporting the computer versus an iPad? Or maybe if I thought logically for a second, I'd remember that the iPad has a portrait keyboard, which is ideal for two-thumb typing while on the go or just sitting around. Nah, he means hold the computer in one hand and the iPad just floating in the air. And you couldn't have made a more retarded, stupid remark. I mean, seriously, you're not trying. I don't even. I'm just gonna go to the next one because you just retarded. Number four, in the PC world, it's all about specs. How much shit can we pack in a single box and call it a value product? A netbook doesn't have all those specs to brag about, so they give it an option that traditional notebooks don't have: constant connection to the internet. That's the selling point of a netbook. I already have a MacBook Air that weighs less than a netbook and has better specs as well. So the only thing a netbook would have over my computer is 3G support. Without that, a netbook is worthless. And that's absolutely true. My MacBook Air weighs 3 pounds. It has a Core 2 Duo. It has a 13-inch display. So a netbook either weighs just as much and has crappier specs, or weighs more and has crappier specs. So I have no use for a netbook. I couldn't substitute an iPad with a netbook because that'd be going backwards. That'd be devolution. Number five. Are you ignorant to the cost of a laptop? You can buy a full-fledged laptop for around 400 bucks. Netbooks don't get much cheaper than that. I challenge you. Go on a Dell site, go on an HP site. Look at their cheapest laptops. Their cheapest machines called laptops. I guarantee those things will cost around 400 bucks, the cheapest ones. And then look at netbooks. I guarantee you won't see one going under the price of 300. Maybe you might see 289, but the prices that I was seeing was about 389, which is $10 less than a full-fledged laptop. So they're not really cheaper, they're just crappier. And like I said, my computer's more portable. So there you go. Number 6. Why would you need a camera connection kit if you already have a computer? You really need to think logically for once. If you have a computer, then there's no need for these connection kits. Just sync the pictures via 30-pin dock to USB, which is connected, or which is included with the iPad. Yeah, you made this huge deal about the camera connection kit, and you really don't need to make it a big deal because there is no deal at all. You can buy the connection kits, or you have a computer and you have no need for the connection kits. That's it. The iPad isn't a device that you connect things to. The iPad is a device you connect to things. You connect the iPad to a computer to sync all your stuff. You connect your iPad to a TV to watch all your content. That's what you do. You're not meant to connect things. Hence the single port being the 30-pin connector. If you don't get that, then I advise that you revisit the Apple site and just check out. Just check out all the specs. Check out what it's supposed to do. So number 7 has nothing to do with the actual response. It was just something. You were butchering all my sentences, so I was making a response on that, but I'm not going to say it after all, just to conserve time. Number 8 is an example. Say 2 people want to listen to music on the go. One has an iPad, and the other one has a netbook. Note, both people have headphones on. LOL. You seem to make a big deal about that. The person with the iPad, me, flips open the case, chooses a song, then sleeps the device and puts the iPad back in the bag or backpack, wherever I got it from. Easy. Now the netbook guy. He takes out his netbook, chooses a song, then has to walk around with his computer open because his music will stop playing if he closes his machine. How, and I say again, how are these two things equal? I can't believe out of everything that I said, though, you thought that the headphones were the problem. I mean, I mentioned all of this information about walking around with an iPad, listening to music versus a netbook, and you seem to think that the big deal was putting headphones on, just because I didn't add putting headphones on the iPad. And seriously, you need to think for a second, dude. Just fucking think for a second. You're trying too hard to prove me wrong. You're trying so hard to prove me wrong that you're not making any sense. Why would putting on headphones be a problem? Why? That's not the problem. The problem is that you have to hold open the fucking netbook to listen to your music on the go, and you don't have to do that with the iPad. And you might say, well, my phone can do music, so why would I want to do it on the iPad? Easy. My iPad gets 128 hours of music playback. My phone gets maybe about 30 hours. Yeah, I think about 30 hours of music playback. There is a reason to do all of these tasks that I'm mentioning. I'm trying to take the productivity out of my phone that kills the battery and put it into another device, which is the iPad. Which is essentially what you should do if you had a netbook too, but you can't do it in all the same situations that I can do an iPad. So that's my response to you. Go ahead and respond. So look forward to it, because the more responses you do, the more you just look retarded. So go ahead and post a response.